You, get down from the trailer! Send the dog!
They're incredibly fast, hard-working,
Good boy.
intelligent, and they bite. Police dogs are increasingly being used in Britain's war against crime. Tonight, on the front line with London's Dog Squad, going after car thieves, searching for drugs,
It smells, strong smell of cannabis.
and not getting their paws wet. When the order is given to send in the dogs.
If you don't come out now, I'm sending the dog in!
London's Metropolitan Police detain around 5,000 drug dealers every year. Most of these arrests come as a result of surprise raids on homes and premises, suspected as being used for dealing. In the East End of London, undercover cops have been keeping an eye on this property. Informants have told them drugs can be bought here. At a nearby police station, the Met's crack unit, the Territorial Support Group, the TSG, is getting ready to pay the place a visit.
We've spoken to our colleague who's close to the scene. He's happy that there's enough happening inside the address. So we're going to go and hit the address, execute the warrant and see what we get.
The warrant gives them the right to break in if necessary. Their colleague is an undercover detective who will say when. But the TSG are going to need backup. It's also getting ready 7 miles away in Hyde Park.
I haven't got anything. Go play.
Diesel is a drugs dog. His handler, PC Adele Gibson. They've been partners for 4 years. Diesel is a Cocker Spaniel who specialises in finding drugs, cash and guns proactively, which means he goes looking for them. PC Gibson also has a second dog, a Springer Spaniel called Vinny, a passive drugs dog. He stays still when he smells them.
You have to give them lots of runs and obviously make sure they're well looked after. 'Cause at the end of the day, you want them to work for you. I've got a nose for the parks as well as the drugs.
Diesel's nose will soon be needed. But first, the TSG have got to get into the building and secure it.
30,
PC Gibson and Diesel will only go in when the searching starts. It'll be their job to look for hidden drugs or anything else which might be concealed. Vinny will be sitting this one out.
Diesel's role is actually very important, and really it's then quite a big responsibility to go in and you know that you're there to complement the team really and find the drugs that they're looking for. It's the unknown, isn't it? It's the anticipation of what's going to be on the other side of that door, really.
All police raids are big on shock and superior numbers. The TSG have medical officers on their team armed with video cameras. The name of this game is to prevent anyone from disposing of evidence of any kind.
Get in there, boys, get in there, get in, boys. Stay there, mate. Stay there, stay there.
Do not move, fella, all right?
Me, please.
Stop moving, okay?
With the premises under police rule, it's time for Diesel and PC Gibson. No one has any drugs on them, but they do have a dog. One that seems to find Diesel attractive.
He's dribbling at the Spaniel.
Despite the unwanted attention, Diesel's gone straight for the till. PC Gibson's not sure why, but something is amiss.
saying there's drugs in there, but there's probably cash, and he's a cash dog as well. So that's why I've rewarded him.
Diesel's reward for a find is a tennis ball, his very own.
Diesel goes out to work and every day's a big game. He doesn't realise he's even working.
The till is locked and no one is owning up to having a key. The police have their own.
Cannabis in the till.
It's not only money that's out of place in the till.
Dogs had a strong indication towards the till area, and there's some cannabis and a big roll of cash that's wedged down the back of their all 20s.
Yeah, I'm happy now. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Good boy. Come on in.
It's a good start for Diesel and PC Gibson, but the hard work is far from over.
It stinks in here.
The Metropolitan Police have the largest specialist canine unit in Britain. In all, they have 251 dogs of all shapes and sizes and abilities. 120 of them are German Shepherds. This is Carly. She and her handler, PC Mandy Chapman, are on a blue light run heading for the scene of a reported burglary in southeast London. Kids have broken into a house and are thought to be still there. PC Chapman has been a cop for 25 years. For 18 of them, she's been in the dog squad. Carly is 5 and has been in the job for 4 years. PC Chapman believes Carly to be the prettiest dog in the Met, but admits she's also one of the most feisty.
In charge of India 99, we've got quite a large area of Bengal.
India 99 is the call sign of London's police helicopter.
With you in 2 minutes.
PC Chapman needs the helicopter because witnesses have identified the burglars as teenagers and she will not let her dog loose in such circumstances, even though Carly would be onto them in a flash.
They're kids, which makes no difference to you if your house has been broken into, but it does for deploying a police dog. The trouble is what kids don't realise, they're old enough to commit crime, but if they get bitten by a police dog, it's a lifetime of scarring.
While her fellow officers search outside, PC Chapman takes a look inside to assess the situation.
Haven't seen anyone.
Just as well. The owner of the house has found a youngster in his back room.
I haven't even done anything.
Come here, sit back, bloody get here. Get hold of him. Where's your mate's gone?
the alleyway.
Oh, don't strangle
Your
me.
mate's gone, you little...
I haven't done nothing.
You're a burglar, that's what you are.
I
You're
did
a
not
last
do
sort of-
that.
You are nicked. On your knees. On your knees. As I went into that house, I saw the householder's face and they were distraught. Patio windows have been smashed. There is glass everywhere. Hold him.
They've just come out of the house.
I didn't do nothing.
Stay there.
PC Chapman now knows that 2 of the boys' friends are on the run with 2 expensive BMX bikes they've taken from the back garden. While Carly tries to sniff out the direction in which the teenagers ran, the helicopter's thermal imager scours for heat traces.
Carly! Carly! Here! My main danger here is she's going to run out and you can see the cars.
PC Chapman and Carly are running out of time, and so is India 99. The trail is in danger of going cold.
Have you seen 2 lads running? Thanks. Sit.
Coming up, for others in London's dog squad, the pace is hotting up. And Diesel gets down and dirty in the hunt for drugs.
Good boy!
That's a cracking dog.
In South London, German Shepherd Carly and her handler PC Chapman are still looking for the 2 teenagers who stole BMX bikes from the back garden of a house. Helicopter India 99 and its thermal imaging camera are also still on the case, But push bikes don't leave heat traces. It's becoming increasingly likely that the young thieves dumped the bikes and left the area before the police got here. But Carly isn't giving up.
What you got? You got something? Good gal. Clever gal. Having a bite. Good gal. Good gal. The dog's located the two bikes. They've been well hidden. Definitely a mongoose and a GT bike. I'll have to carry them back with me. Good gal. Good gal.
Finding the bikes wasn't luck. Carly's nose homed in on the fresh scent the thieves left behind.
We would never have found those things. I wouldn't have looked there. I'd have had no reason to look there. But Carly just follows the scent disturbance. There they are. It's nice to be able to take that stuff back to them and say, you know, here's your stuff. She found these. They're well hidden.
Can you give me names, though?
There's a big building at the end of here, and they'd hidden them under a load of stuff under there. So because she was showing interest, let her persevere, and then she's found them. So I know it's no consolation with what's happened, but it's a start. Carly, sit.
It keeps the kids happy, and that's the main thing. Without the dog, we wouldn't have found him. The window's not so much of an issue, so...
Not only has Carly recovered the 2 stolen bikes, but PC Chapman can also claim a prisoner. The teenage burglar, too young to be identified on camera, but old enough to help PC Chapman locate the other 2, if he wants.
How old are you? You're on a downhill slope, fella. The only thing you've got to look forward to is meeting me in a back garden in the dark with no one else around. And I'll be the second thing that you're aware of. The first thing you're aware of is that. You've got to give it a go to get through to them. You've got to tell them what the future holds. The future holds a 6x6 cell. It's not my kid, but I think deep down all of us care. That's why we put the uniform on. See you at Bromley, yeah.
In East London, PC Gibson cares only about one thing, her Cocker Spaniel Diesel finding more drugs. The big police raid on the property suspected of being a haven for drug dealers has only produced small finds of cannabis and cash. Nothing like the haul undercover officers had predicted. But like Carly, Diesel rarely gives up. His nose, which is many times more powerful than a human's, is telling him there's more here than meets the eye, even though it looks like a dead end, and a smelly one at that.
What is it, boy? He's trying to get in there, if it helps. That little bit there. Yeah, he was jumping up at that board there.
He was indicating, and straight away I sort of knew there was something behind there.
Anything there? Should we rip the fence down?
Yeah, it just springs back.
It's the breakthrough they've all been hoping for.
Behind that fence, it was like, well, probably shoulder high, just full of like rubbish bags and mess. Basically like a mini little tip, really.
This is where a dog is worth his weight in gold.
Yes, indeed.
Blue bag. They're a good lad. That's these. Good boy. Blue bag. They're a good lad. Did you pull it through?
Yeah, pulled it through. Got about 25, 30 bags of herbal cannabis. There you go.
This time, Diesel doesn't want his reward. He's going for an even bigger prize.
He's just gone back in. He's just now indicating on that bag there. Good boy! It's got some more.
Another one. Well, I mean, what can you say? I mean, the dog again went straight through it. Oh, what's this? Yeah, it's like sticks of resin.
That was particularly good, and as a dog handler, you know, that it is very enjoyable because you're watching your dog work, he's finding the drugs, he's doing what he's been trained to do, and he's obviously getting his rewards, so he's having the playtime. So for him, you know, he's had a fantastic day. It's very satisfying.
It would have taken us ages to find that, and obviously with the light fading as well, you know, we might have even missed it.
Good lad.
Absolute cracking dog.
Diesel isn't interested in compliments. All he needs now is his favourite tennis ball and a good bath. None of the detained men were found to have any drugs on them, and the police were unable to prove that the cannabis they found belonged to anyone associated with the premises they raided. There was also no evidence of drug dealing. Nightfall brings different challenges for London's police dogs. Many car criminals use the darkness to steal vehicles and to try and outrun the police. When this happens, the Met send in the dogs, so that when the chases end, the thieves stand less chance of getting away.
We're running to a vehicle pursuit on Harrow's ground, just not far from where we are at the moment.
We means the Met's German Shepherd Brody and her handler, Sergeant Pete Madden. And the vehicle being pursued has been stolen. Brody is 3 years old. An unusual Alsatian, her coat is sable grey rather than the usual black and tan. Her father was a police dog with the Greater Manchester Police. Sergeant Madden has been a cop for 31 years and is the skipper of the squad D Relief.
The helicopter's also en route, and police cars are closing in on the pursuit.
The helicopter is also regularly used when cars are being chased in London.
MP Oscar X-ray 24, last location, please.
The helicopter is to up my near side.
Indian 99's video camera is already locked onto the stolen vehicle. The people who took it have abandoned it and are on the run.
00 Leighton Close, where are these suspects last seen?
From 99, stand by, we've got one in sight, just climbed over a garage roof into an alleyway. He's heading towards us, towards a helicopter, parallel to Leighton Close, generally in the direction of Old Oak Broadway. Stop there, stop.
Stop.
You've gone further than he is, but he's sort of catching you up. Your side.
He's climbing into a garden. Stand by, I'll give you the number of the garden. It's a garden.
Indian 99 Sierra Zero, I'm in Leighton Close now.
As Brody and Sergeant Madden close in on the car thieves, on the other side of town, another German Shepherd has been called into action. Carly and her handler, PC Chapman, are rushing to try and catch more burglars red-handed. A man has been seen breaking into a railway storage yard.
Officers were there very quickly, so they're hoping the guy's still in there.
PC Chapman isn't just around the corner. She and Carly are 5 miles away from the yard.
It's a very long run. That's why it's important not to throw the dog around too much, because we want to make sure that she's capable of searching when we get there. You don't want a dog that, as soon as you start to drive quickly and put the two toes on, starts barking. But she's ready, because the moment I open that cage, she's already up and standing ready to go.
This time, Carly won't be rushing in. Local officers have the place surrounded, and PC Chapman knows that these sort of places are notoriously dangerous.
Do you know the site, or you just have keys?
I don't know the site.
So you don't know about any hazards on there for me and the dog?
It's basically a skip yard.
Yeah.
Haulage skip yard, so there's lorries, skips, might have some scrap metal about, sharp objects.
Sharp objects mean a more careful search than usual. And that's not the only worry. No one knows anything about the man they're after.
Carly?
Thank you.
Good girl. You know you're going into danger. I mean, people are carrying knives, firearms, and even just grabbing anything near them to defend themselves. So you know you're putting that dog in danger a lot of the time. It's worrying, but she is part of your trade and she is a tool of the trade. And if it comes to an officer or the dog being put into a dangerous situation, it has to be the dog. But the dog will work it out. It'll be looking for the disturbance, where the person's gone. Wait. When you watch them, then they get excited. Then you know they're on the track of somebody. You've got to trust the dog.
PC Chapman's trust is being tested. Carly's led her up what looks like a dead end. In northwest London, Sergeant Madden is also having to trust Brody.
Yeah, Indian 99 got me in the back gardens.
Yeah, if you can get out into the alleyway at the back, or if you think
They're still looking for the driver of the stolen car.
Go on. So you find him.
He's coming into the garden shortly that you're at the back fence of. In fact, he's gone into a garage. Excellent. He's just looking out the. He's just peering out the garage door now.
Knowing where he is one thing. Judging whether he's going to come out quietly is another. This is where Brodie comes in.
He was just behind that door looking out a couple of seconds ago.
And goes in.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Don't be kidding my dog!
I'm always conscious of the safety of Brodie. I'm always conscious that potentially there is risk and there is danger to him there. When Brodie found the fella in there, she barked as she's trained to do, and the nasty swine jabbed her in the face with his left elbow and got bitten for his trouble. So she's fine, so she's okay. But she's allowed to defend herself, and that's just what she did there. We do worry about our dogs. If you want to see a dog handler cross, you hurt their dog. And if you want to see a dog cross, you hurt his handler. Lovely. So that's Old Bill 3, Villains nothing.
At the railway storage yard, Carly and PC Chapman could also be close to scoring.
We'll get down here.
What looked like a dead end isn't.
Oh, this is snug, isn't it? Carly.
It's the entrance to some kind of cabin.
She's lifting her head up.
And someone's in.
Oh, just stay there, mate. Just stay there. Stay there. Turn around. Put your hands on the wall. Back to the wall. Good girl. Hand. Hand. Other hand. Till I know what's happening.
The man might have an innocent explanation for being here, but PC Chapman won't take chances. And neither does Carly.
Police dogs. It has a great calming effect, and it's very, very instant. Do you work here?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any identification, anything like that?
Yes, maybe. Look
in here?
Oh.
1 second. You've got something here, yeah?
Oh, yes. There is identification card.
What's your name, sorry? Just wait there for us. If you're okay to be here, we'll leave you. If not, then you have to come with us, okay?
I walk here, in the side.
Right, okay.
The man says this is where he lives. He was asleep, and he's got permission to be here.
Where do they live at night? Where do they sleep at night?
The man's story checks out. He's not a burglar and is completely innocent.
The reason they stopped is we've had information that somebody's jumped over that fence.
I think we know who they are, we've got their details, they've got full ID, but yeah, I'm happy if you are.
Sorry for your inconvenience.
Carly can't tell if people are innocent or guilty. To her, it's just a game.
Good girl. Did you find him, didn't you? Good girl.
Coming up.
What's the description of these suspects?
Brodie and Sergeant Madden have yet more car thieves to deal with. And Paddy, the wannabe water dog. Every day in London, 3.5 million people use the Underground. Most use it for work or to go shopping. Some use it to deal or use drugs. The Met have been cracking down on drug use in the Tube, and the dog squad are at the forefront of the campaign.
Are you ready? Are you all fired up? Are you ready for work? Yeah?
Vinny, PC Adele Gibson's passive drugs dog, is on duty today, checking the passengers in and out. Vinny is 3 years old, an English Springer Spaniel, and the youngest of PC Gibson's 2 police dogs. Unlike Diesel, Vinny's specifically trained to work in crowds. So this time, while Vinny works, Diesel gets to sit it out.
Coming in.
Vinny's nose is incredibly sensitive. 10 times more so than a human's.
I've never done this station before, actually, so it's a bit of an unknown quantity.
When Vinny freezes, it doesn't always mean his target is carrying drugs. They may only have come into contact with them.
Okay. He's a drugs dog. Oh. Okay, he detects drugs. Do you have anything on you you shouldn't have? Okay, just going to go off for a search. Thank you.
It's the job of PC Gibson's fellow officers to carry out searches to find out what Vinny's nose has detected. Since cannabis was upgraded to a Class B drug, London's police are now taking a harder line on its use. Fines are routinely issued during operations like this.
Obviously, the vast quantity of people coming through are, you know, genuine commuters. Okay, he's a drugs dog. Oh, okay. Okay, he's just going to go off for a search? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to come with us? Let's pop you through here. It's quite hard here in the fact that on the train station you've got a lot of wind everywhere. Hi, mate. How are you? Lovely, thanks, sir. So the wind's obviously blowing around everywhere, so the dog has to work quite hard and sort of, you know, in the sense of the air around the person. Basically, that's what he's doing, is he's scanning the air around the person. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Okay, he's a drugs dog. Okay, do you have something on you, a little bit of cannabis? Don't worry if you have.
I've just smoked a joint.
You just smoked a joint,
I've
okay.
literally just come out of...
All right, okay. The dog's saying you've still got some, so you're going to go and be searched.
Just like Diesel, Vinny gets a tennis ball as his fun reward. But for the officers with him, it's serious work, and Vinny's keeping them busy.
Get him, gonna have a drink. They work really hard. It's their noses are going the whole time. So although you think the dog's just standing there, actually they are working really hard, and they can get like what we call nasal fatigue, which is why it's really imperative to like rest them for like 20 minutes.
Rest and recuperation are bywords in the dog squad. Usually this involves getting to play with other dogs. Most handlers have their own pet dogs at home. PC Mandy Chapman is no exception, much to Carly's delight.
Carly really enjoys living with Oscar, who's 9, almost. And her best buddy in the world is Oakley, who's the same age, 4. Aren't you, sweetheart? Yes, you are. They're best buddies.
Oscar and Oakley both used to be PC Chapman's police dogs until they retired. Carly, who's been working with PC Chapman for 4 years, has another 3 years service left.
Hey, bits.
Retirement is the furthest thing from her mind.
I think Carly, given a choice of whether to stay at home all day, like Oscar, or whether to go to work, I think Carly would work all day long. When she's working, she's very, very focused, but when she switches off, she loves nothing more than a run with the other dogs. And when we go for a walk, she's not an aggressive dog at all. And that's the beauty of them. You get to take home your own personal bodyguard and burglar alarm all rolled into one.
This burglar alarm and bodyguard is also the leader of the pack.
It's really funny, when you come home from work and something exciting's happened, she comes in all puffed up, and you can just tell she's almost full of it, and she does her almost as if she's telling the other two what's happened at work. All dogs need something to do, and they need a good amount of exercise, but a police dog's life is the best life.
At the tube station, Vinny is still resting his nose. But the stop and search operation must continue. That means backup and a chance for PC Gibson to watch another dog team at work.
Are you ready, Woody? This is it. Hello there, just come past the dog for me, thank you.
Woody is a 6-year-old English Springer Spaniel. Like Vinny, a narcotics dog, but he can also sniff out guns and cash. His sidekick for the past 5 years is PC John Lane. Named after the character from Toy Story, Woody's nose is always the centre of attention.
Woody's got quite a peculiar nose where he's got some of the pigmentation on his on the end of his nose is gone. So he looks sort of like he's got a snout on him, which it's something unique to Woody. I haven't seen any other Springer or any other dog for that fact that's had it. Hello there, just come past the dog for us. Thank you very much.
Woody's unique nose works a treat,
Come past the dog for us, thank you.
even in crowds.
So there, sir, please.
Just follow me outside.
Okay, what is that substance, sir?
It's
What, cannabis.
Cannabis, OK.
Like Vinny, Woody has a high work rate.
Stop there, please, young man. This is a drug stop. You got any drugs on you? You sure you're going to be searched? Honesty is the best policy.
Honesty.
Good. Go with my colleagues then. In the Met, we usually work in pairs. We have 2 dogs, 2 dog handlers go along, and that's so that we can keep the operation flowing, because it's quite tense for the dogs. If you imagine a train station, it's quite a dry, warm place. They're constantly sniffing, and they get nasal fatigue.
So when Woody's nose starts to fatigue, Vinny and PC Gibson take over.
When the one dog handler's working, then the other dog handler will be watching what's coming up, just to make sure that they are concentrating on the dog and what they're doing, and you're making sure that they're safe and covering their back for them, so to speak.
The crackdown in the tube has been going for 4 hours. No one's counting how many cautions or fines have been handed out. But not every stop has been for cannabis or other Class B drugs.
He gets his ball. Good boy. Ah, lovely. It's got 3 Class A tablets on it, ecstasy tablets. That's good. It's always nice to get a hit when they haven't got any cannabis as well, because you know all they found is a Class A, the ecstasy tablet. So, really clever boy.
We've had all sorts of results from Class A to Class C. Yeah, basically, it's been a very good day.
Are you happy?
Vinny and Woody's good day is what every handler hopes for.
Good boy.
In West London, Sergeant Madden, the shift skipper, is once again leading from the front, after more car thieves who think they can lose the police at high speed. As usual, Brodie's along for the ride, loving every minute.
It's a silver Volvo. He's been in the M4 now and he's going away from us.
At the moment we're under a vehicle pursuit. The car that's behind it is struggling to keep up. And at the moment they've lost it. The helicopter's nearby, so hopefully, if we're lucky, they'll pick it up.
Sergeant Madden and the helicopter India 99 are becoming an item.
Information report. Vehicle involved in burglary. Fuel car circulation ends CAD 3819.
Well, the latest information on this vehicle is that we believe it's involved in a number of burglaries between London and Thames Valley, and it's been seen in the area a couple of times over recent days.
The info is a warning the men in the stolen car are believed to be serious criminals.
Sabina Close in Hayes.
Decamp is police jargon for suspects have dumped a stolen vehicle and are on the run.
Yes, that's all received. MPP information. We need to liaise with air traffic control to get into that area, as officers will appreciate, extremely near to Heathrow Airport.
The thieves have abandoned the car close to Heathrow Airport. The helicopter cannot just fly into the flight path. The criminals now have the edge. But Brodie and Madden are trying to change that.
I don't think Brodie generally gets too excited once the sirens go on or I start driving faster, because she knows from experience that quite often, that will happen and then we'll get cancelled. What she does associate is when we stop and I open up the back, that's when she gets excited.
Brodie can now get excited. Heathrow's air traffic control has allowed India 99 into its airspace. London's dog squad works the entire capital, and that includes the River Thames. 200 miles of waterway which is used by thousands of boats a day, and a fair few criminals. The specialist marine police unit, the River Cops, need dogs to search the vessels they stop or board. It's an elite job, and not every dog is up to it. PC John Lane wants to work with the River Cops. That means getting one of his 2 Springer Spaniels accepted and trained. He's chosen Paddy. Paddy hasn't been with PC Lane as long as Woody. Woody's done 6 years, while Paddy joined them only 10 months ago. He's not yet 2 years old, but he has become PC Lane's main troubleshooter.
Paddy, who is my proactive dog, so that means he does the search warrants for cars, houses, and he does narcotics, firearms and cash.
The Met's Marine unit only has 20 dogs attached to it. Getting in is hard.
I've been waiting 7 years to do the assessment, so bit apprehensive, I guess. Just the fact that we don't want to fail and miss the boat, so to speak. Fingers crossed, hopefully it'll all go well today.
Paddy and PC Lane have to convince the Marine unit that they are made of the right stuff to even get onto the training programme.
The river is not for fools. It's a very dangerous environment that if you take liberties with it, you can come unstuck very quickly. Historically, we've failed roughly around 50%.
Being a water dog doesn't mean getting your paws wet. Far from it. Personality is vital. What the river cops call demeanour.
Whoa, taking the food, Ralph. He's very happy. Tail's wagging. Trying to get a bit more, actually. Let's see if he wants to investigate this. His general demeanour is pretty good. What's this? Yeah, he's investigating the wallet. What's this? Oh, and he wants his ball. That's great. OK. What we're going to do now, John, he's obviously happy and well today. We're going to put him in the bag.
The bag is a special harness that is used to winch police dogs onto ships.
It'll be a bit of a strange experience for him. That's it. That's it. They'll wiggle about a bit. Oh, I think that's flying urine there, is it?
I did tell you.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, piddling Paddy.
Weeing on the river cops is not the best career move. But at least Paddy's put a smile on their faces.
OK, he's wagging away there nicely, Ralph. He's not fazed by that at all. Right, we'll take him on to the next step.
The next step is finding out whether Paddy can cope with being winched onto a vessel on his own.
That's great.
PC Lane is not allowed to even watch, far less reassure.
It's like when I was waiting for my children to be born, it's like that. You're very nervous, there's nothing you can do about it, you've just got to wait and hope that the result's OK.
Legs are all nice and loose, they're not stiff at all. What we do, we take him up further to about 10 foot if we can. He's just looking at his surroundings here. He's always quite interested up there. What's happening up there? That's good. Yeah, and bring him down, that's great. He's not stressed at all.
I know that if there had been any opportunity for him to be under distress, they would have stopped it, so I was quite happy with that.
But for PC Lane and Paddy,
bring him down.
There's still a long way to go and the tests are getting more difficult.
OK, that's good. Right, thanks, Jerry.
In West London, Brodie and Sergeant Madden are still after the serious criminals who abandoned their stolen car near Heathrow. The helicopter's heat-seeking camera hasn't picked up anyone yet, so Brodie's still the best hope.
So he went over here.
He went over about here.
Yeah.
And the other one, he went over about there.
Yeah, I know.
Sergeant Madden has been getting over fences with his dog for the last 12 years. He's seen them all.
We need to be careful when we're putting them over a fence. That we can get them safely over the fence in the first place. I think there was a barbed wire at the top of the fence. It's all right, madam, wait there. I put my body armour over the top to make sure that I can get her over without scratching her or without cutting her. Don't just turn up, throw her over a fence and hope for the best. Indian 99 Sierra Zero, if I can cut it in. You got me in the back.
Chief dog handler to the dog, yeah.
Go on in. Where is he? Hey, where is he? Find him.
Even though there's no sign of the runaways on Indian 99's thermal imager, Brodie and Madden will keep looking. Brodie's nose might still pick up their trail.
I'll get one of the witnesses from where this big comes.
Have you just seen him?
Coming up, Paddy takes to the water, and his partner needs to prove he can do it too. Back on the River Thames, it's the moment of truth for the wannabe Marine team. Paddy's back on shore, but his partner, PC Lane, has been asked to climb 100 foot up the side of a tanker on his own to prove he has a head for heights and the legs for the job.
Nervous.
This is where it can all go wrong, and Paddy's chance will be gone.
Well done.
I've never climbed up a ladder up the side of a boat before. I was more concerned that I wouldn't get up there and let Paddy down than anything. And now it's down to Dad to get up the ladder, so we can both go on the course, so there's a bit of pressure.
Well done, toes in.
Yeah.
I'm glad to get that.
Excellent.
Nice one. He's done extremely well. Good technique in climbing. So as far as we're concerned, we're happy.
Elated.
A lot of relief. I haven't let Paddy down.
Good technique, but no passing to the unit yet. It's Paddy's turn to prove he has the legs for it. Sea legs. This will be the first time Paddy's set a paw upon a boat. In West London, Brodie and Sergeant Madden still haven't set eyes on their two car thieves, on the run for more than an hour. There's no sign of either of them.
Quebec 0, Sierra 0.
We've got 2 dog fans on the scene now.
The helicopter India 99 has 2 suspects on its camera. One of Sergeant Madden's dog squad colleagues has them detained, but are they the wanted men?
We're just trying to confirm whether or not we think the 2 suspects have been stopped are identical to the suspects that have been seen in the car initially by the officers that chased it.
While the checks are made, Brodie and Madden still have work to do, finding evidence that might link the car to the men.
On the other side of here is where the car was abandoned, and as we arrived, a couple of the informants were saying that they've been seen to throw the keys over in this general area. So we're going to use Brodie's nose now to see if we can locate the keys.
Brodie's nose is not always the answer. Occasionally, Sergeant Madden's eyes are better.
I found the keys. I don't need my dog, they're sitting on top of the roof. It might be we can get some fingerprints off it. And it might be in an ideal world we can tie it to the 2 that we stopped round the corner.
But there's no ideal world today. The 2 men round the corner have alibis and are innocent. They've been let go without charge.
We can't win all the time. You know, I just want to make sure that me and Brodie do the best that we can and give the officers the best shot at finding somebody. They're pretty clever, they do some smart things, but they can't do magic.
On the River Thames, PC Lane and Paddy are hoping for some magic. Paddy's about to find out if he has what it takes to work with the elite Marine unit. If Paddy shows nerves or panics, it'll be all over.
Your dog, my dog.
Being parted from his handler is the first big test. Paddy must be attached to someone at all times in case he tries to jump ship. No dog could survive the strong currents of the Thames for long.
With initial reaction to the engines, so a bit uncertain about it.
What do you think, Paddy? What do you think, Paddy? Hi.
Paddy doesn't know it yet, but this boat is just a warm-up. This is the real deal. A high-speed raider that can take 6 armed officers and a dog team at 60 miles an hour anywhere on the Thames. Enough to frighten any dog.
Oh. Oh.
Once the instructors were happy that he was OK and confident on the bigger boat, then he was transferred to the smaller boat, which I must admit I'd never been on before, so it's a new experience for me.
Your dog? My dog.
Step straight on, hands into the boat. You're on.
Don't give him any physical or verbal support at this moment in time. Just see how he reacts to it all. If he does show any signs of distress, then I will immediately tell the coxswain to stop, and that'll be the end of it.
The end of it means failure.
And hold on.
This is just the half of it.
Dogs are very quick to pick up on any fear that the owner or the handler will have, so you have to be 100% confident of what you're doing before you put the dog in.
Dog's still looking around, and he's pretty chilled out now. I think he's quite comfortable there.
He was quite happy that he wasn't in any danger, and Dad's OK, so I must be OK.
him, he was looking around all the time. This dog actually, you know, has done very well.
Messing around on the river.
Messing around on the river means Paddy has been accepted by the river cops as one of their own.
Of all the dogs that I've tested over the years, he's done very well today in comparison. So yes, he's a good little dog.
Good. Well done, big fella.
Big fella Paddy now faces 12 weeks additional training before he and PC Lane will be allowed to set sail with their new chums.
I'm over the moon, really, really, really pleased about it.